Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
And we're so excited that you're here on a slightly cooler evening than we expected.
It really is.
Since it was, by one account, 100 degrees here today, according to the car.
I was like, that account? Mine.
The car. Yours. That is
7.
That is true.
My car's name is 7, if you didn't know.
What should people do?
You should go into the chat and you should tell us. I can't see the chat, but I know we asked a question in there. You should respond to that question.
Favorite thing to do when it is hot at Disney?
Is find air conditioning and go shopping. The other thing you should do is, if you know why my car is named 7, put it in the chat.
I do, but I'm not going to put it in the chat.
You helped me name the car.
That is true. It is a very warm week at the Disneyland Resort, which is why I want to know from you your favorite thing to do when it is hot at Disneyland, because maybe you can help one of your friends who are watching. And Lincoln is always a very good idea. Ice cream or Dole Whip, also a very good idea. And Clocky already has the right answer for your car. Anyway, at the beginning of this very hot week, we got a new character at Disneyland from Encanto.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Luisa first. Mm-hmm. We went and saw her on Sunday. Today, Isabella arrived just in time for the heat to get really insane. And the two of them are apparently going to be meeting people at Disneyland for the foreseeable future, I guess. What did you think of the meet and greet?
Luisa has no donkeys. I feel like Luisa has to have donkeys.
That would be pretty epic.
Anyway, what if she just picked one up? Or they were dancing like they do for Disney on Ice.
You know what I'm worried?
Nightmare inducing.
What if Deadpool stole one of the donkeys and put a horn on it, and that's what he's riding through Avengers Campus?
That might be it.
Because we did discover he's here for a little bit longer now.
Yay!
It looks like he might be slated through the middle of October currently.
That's pretty
So there's still
exciting.
chances to see Deadpool in the park. Anyway, back to Encanto.
No, so Luisa was very, very fun.
She's tall.
Yeah, I mean,
you would expect that too, and buff. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Isabella, I have not gotten the chance to meet, but she looked very nice.
She was very lovely.
Was she throwing flower petals when everybody walked up to her? Was she?
She should have been.
Did she descend on her?
Her dress had lots of flower petals on it, though.
Did she descend on her flower swing?
No, but that was cool too.
Did she have a hurricane of jacarandas?
They actually talked about Luisa not being there because
they're sisters.
She was working with the donkeys. So.
Oh my gosh!
That's what they
donkey
said.
mention.
Yes.
Crazy.
In our video, I believe there is a donkey mention, if I heard it all correctly.
Perfect.
I think it's great because we now have Mirabel, the sisters, and Bruno.
Yeah.
So we have 3, 4 more to
go.
Bruno.
See? Yeah. Oh.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi,
Has it been a while since you've been on Geeks Corner? Did you want to be a part of the show?
Oh my God, he loves Encanto.
Apparently he does.
Oh my God, iconic.
There you go.
Baby, you've never even seen that movie.
A surprise indie cameo on tonight's Geeks Corner.
An indie cameo? That was
before
good.
The indie cam later. But anyway, so we still need 4 more?
We need Abuela.
Mm-hmm.
We need why am I forgetting? Now I'm going through the
song.
Yeah. The one who can hear everything.
Yeah.
What's her name? It's gonna bother
the little boy.
me. Yeah.
The animal kid.
Isn't that Antonio?
Yeah, Antonio.
Yeah. Is it Dolores that can hear everything?
That sounds right.
I think
that sounds right.
And if you want to get into the parent, there's also the parent. But
so here's my thought: is wouldn't it be cool by the time the whole Encanto expansion for Disney's Animal Kingdom opens, if we'd already gotten to meet all of the family here at the Disneyland Resort?
I think
that'd be cool.
Meeting Abuela would be really, really cool. Mainly Julieta.
You say it.
It's okay.
I'm reading it.
Which one of us took Spanish in high school?
Not me.
Which one of us took French in high school?
En français.
See?
Mm-hmm.
I made a joke today where I was like, was talking about how you took French. It comes up very frequently about how I took Spanish
It does me
and
so much good in California.
I said, yeah, parlez-vous français? Good, because no one else here does.
It's true. If that ever happened, there'd be one person that could translate, and that'd be yeah. Anyway, I think that would be cool. And
Bonjour.
part of me wonders if we're getting these characters so that when eventually, like, it's a better place to like throw them out to the public, and then there's more of a, I don't know, like a surprise, not a surprise because you're gonna know they're there in Disney's Animal Kingdom, but there's more of that big reveal of like, oh, the characters are here, oh, the attractions here, oh, the land is, like, I think it makes it a better reveal.
The reason I think of why that would be cool is just because I love when there are age appropriate characters in the parks.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's something very fun and very exciting. I totally understand why we don't see it happen more frequently.
I have not seen the fairy godmother in a while.
I was just thinking.
You just made me think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I totally understand why we don't see it more frequently. But it's something that I love to see.
Nope, I agree.
In the parks. Also, just like imagine her walking around with like her candle. I'd be like, ooh.
Yeah, I think.
Where's the miracle?
I think that'd be very cool. But I applaud Disney for bringing him out and showing us more. And we currently have 4 members of the Madrigal family at the Disneyland Resort in various forms right now.
I also really, really, really like that they have the Madrigal, like
the family
portrait.
Yeah, I like
thing,
that too.
Because it's a really fun backdrop for a character meet and greet. Like you're like, oh my god, there they are.
Yeah,
it's fun.
And it fits with the area really well, and it looks pretty. And
yeah.
The only thing I would do for that area is I would put those like hanging tarp things, because they already have the decorations that are hanging, and I would put hanging tarps for more shade, so you don't have to have the 1 or 2 umbrellas, because then the whole area would be shaded. And I feel like everybody would appreciate that.
There's also the cousin that can do the shape shifting, but maybe we could argue that we've already met him.
Yeah, might have been there the whole time. That'd be a fair argument.
Yeah.
All right. This last week and a half ago, this is last week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Winnie the Pooh and Critter Country reopened, and you can go to Pooh Corner. You can go to the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh. You can meet Winnie the Pooh, Tigger 2, and Eeyore. I think I might have seen somebody met Rabbit also.
Aww,
I don't know that I've seen Piglet yet, but you never know. But this area's reopened, and the exciting part with the reopening is not just the fact that there's been a couple enhancements to the queue, like there's some carrots and whatever stuff that's been added, but you get a much better view of the entrance to Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which for 3 decades over was a brown wooden barn looking building, and now it's this kind of yellow mustardy with green accents building that is ridiculously happy. Like, it changes the entire area. And when I walked in there on whatever day it was it Friday? Thursday?
Friday.
Yeah, Friday. My initial thought was completely an emotional one of like, oh, I did not realize how much of a difference changing that building would make in the area. And it actually fits better with Winnie the Pooh in some regards, because Winnie the Pooh is kind of happy and whimsical, and especially inside the attraction, colorful. And this is very colorful outside the attraction, and it just makes you feel happy as you're looking. I mean, yellow's a happy color.
It reminds me of Tiana's restaurant dress when she's cooking and she has that like yellow dress on.
Yeah.
I am so excited for this. Like, is the attraction, the track layout going to be the same? Sure.
Who cares?
But I think that
somebody does probably. But
I think retheming the queue is something I'm very much looking forward to. Because the former queue, I'm afraid to even invoke its name, but the former queue, I think, left something to be desired.
I thought it was great for what it was, but it's a different story, and it's definitely a different emotion. And
there's a lot of dead space in the old queue, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
And so I'm excited for the potential of what's to come. I'm excited for the story that it's going to tell, because there is a lot of potential in all that space.
Well, and it'll be interesting just to know you're walking in being impacted by color and different storytelling devices in a different way than the last 3 decades.
It's a different
And-
emotion, definitely.
And that will be very interesting to see when you come in with a different emotion going into it. It's going to change the whole ride. Like it'd be an interesting experiment. It's way too expensive to ever do. Is take one attraction as you know it today and just overlay the attraction queue and see what happens. But and I agree with Clocky. It was a great queue for when it was built in 1989.
Yeah.
Like for what it was actually. I can remember when I was young, thinking this is one of the coolest queues ever. But then time goes by and you're like, oh, I guess they can do more things now. It's like when you go to Magic Kingdom or Disneyland Paris and you experience the queue for Pirates of the Caribbean. I love our Pirates of the Caribbean queue. But then you just see how they developed and you go into the story that much earlier and it's so immersive and there's cannons around and it looks like you're going through a fortress. Like that's progress.
I don't want our queue to be touched.
For Pirates?
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
But I also think that the other queues are miles superior. But because they have the freedom of
Space
and also there would be a major uproar, I think, if that queue got touched.
I will say it was interesting going to Tokyo Disneyland and seeing the entrance to Pirates there because it's still flat.
Oh,
front.
so weird.
And so you kind of get this vibe of like, oh, this is what it was like in New Orleans Square originally, because their space to the right of it is basically identical to our New Orleans Square. And it was very surreal because there's way more space in front of it than
well, and all we've ever done
California.
is see photos of that. We've
Yeah.
never seen that.
But
for
even
real.
the photos didn't have that much space.
Yeah.
So that was a really weird, like almost, it knocked you off balance a little bit to watch that and to feel it.
I think I would like trip just because I would be like, what? Huh? What?
It's flat. What's going on?
Yeah, I think I'd be a little scared.
The world is
But
flat.
also, like,
what?
We at Daps Magic do not condone.
No, we don't. The world is flat.
The earth is round here at Daps Magic. Thank you very much. I had to put a
I
disclaimer
was
out
just
there.
going to start doing jokes, but I won't.
I just had to put a disclaimer out there. This is not a conspiracy podcast.
No, we're not.
Tonight.
I mean, it would be funny to have a Disney conspiracy podcast where you debunk it.
Oh, I like conspiracies. I think those are fun.
Yeah. I mean, we used to have a section on DAPS that was, what was it called?
Daps
Lore.
debunks.
No, it was DAPS lore. And we would take all of the different like legends and lore and those conspiracies, and then we'd go through and we'd research the whole thing. And then basically it was kind of like Mythbusters, where it was plausible, not at all, or it happened. And
I thought it was gonna be like a Daps Magic lore drop. I thought that's what this was.
oh no, we have those too. But you know, it was an interesting exercise to do, and unfortunately, one of our crashes on the site, we lost all that.
That's tragic.
It is, because it was a ton of work. I'd love to bring it back someday, but not happening. All right, moving on over to Disney California Adventure. It was announced today that the Carthay Circle Spooky Tree Flight is returning, but is different this year. And
How
if
is
you
it
remember
different?
the set last year, we had the spooky tree on the set in the old studio. This year, instead of the different colors, was it red, green, and yellow?
Last year it was
Apples?
stoplights. Yeah, red, green, yellow.
Yeah. And this year, they are the apples that hold the drinks in this flight are all black with white.
Which, listen,
We're listening.
do I need another spooky tree? No.
Mhm.
But do I want those all black apples?
Well, see, here's my thought. Is if people get them this year and they also got them last year, then obviously they need to keep doing it so you can build a forest. I love the idea of the Snow White forest with the spooky trees. And then you can put like little candies in them.
I literally just said we're out of space.
Like you could do M&Ms. You could do if you like candy corn, you could put those in.
How do you feel about candy corn?
I'm not a huge candy corn person. I don't hate it like some people do, but I'm also never like, oh, I love these, like anyway.
Not on my watch. I don't like candy corn. Sorry if that wasn't clear.
That's fine. I don't.
My parents both like candy corn.
Like whatever floats your boat. What about the candy little pumpkin ones that look like candies? Yeah, because to me they're just sugar, like with a little bit of vanilla maybe.
And see, I don't even taste that. I think it tastes like wax and.
Well, that's the texture. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Ain't
gonna happen.
Anyway, there's still a chance to get them. They will be available starting on the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they lasted a week or so last year, maybe even longer.
I think there was.
And did they restock?
I think it was surges. So I think it was like it was stocked and then it would run out, and then it was stocked and then it would run out. The most important thing for all of this, and I know I'm speaking to the very kind people that love House Magic. I know I'm not speaking to the average guest, but something I need to really reiterate is that be nice to cast members. If you go to Carthay and they're out of spooky trees, what are we going to do? What's the reaction we're going to have? Is it going to be negative and mean?
No, you're going to say, thank you for your time.
We're going to say, thank you so much. I unfortunately came for the spooky tree. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You don't know how far that goes.
It does.
Acting rationally.
Yes.
Please be kind.
Yes. Do it. It'll be great. Anyway, they're coming back. They'll be back in 2 days.
Yeah.
It'll be great. Yeah. What's already out is Inside Out 2. You can get it on digital download on Apple TV or wherever you like to download your movies. Movies anywhere, I suppose. Amazon. All of those things. We reviewed it the other night. We'll talk about the movie in a second. I'm going to talk about the bonus features first. There's only like 4.
Do it.
There's a couple featurettes and then deleted scenes. All of them are good.
Okay.
There's just not enough. Like I actually feel like as we continue to make this pivot into streaming, we're getting fewer and fewer bonus features, and I would prefer getting more because it's easier to watch them when you can watch them from your TV or your phone or wherever.
True.
Like I would like more of these, but I thoroughly enjoyed the ones that they did offer. And in fact, one of them was a featurette about the scene in the vault. And I thought that was very amusing. But I just like more of that stuff. And I like it when you can watch these different things, or maybe I don't actually enjoy the commentary ones as much.
I don't like commentary, and I know you don't like outtakes.
But I like the feature. They didn't have outtakes. I'm okay with that.
It's voice acting.
The movie was good too. Like I didn't feel like it was the best Pixar film ever. It also was nowhere near the worst.
Yeah.
But it had a story that made sense. It was compelling. There was emotion to it. It was relatable. I thought it moved everybody's stories along in logical ways, and there weren't any major leaps where I was like, now that doesn't make sense, which to me is, and it felt like it was a story that was worth making, and it wasn't just one that they made to make a buck. And I feel like that was a really good thing. What did you think of it?
I did not love it. I liked it. I think the first one was really great. I had a very, very visceral reaction to the first film. I very vividly remember seeing it with like a group of coworkers. There was like 8 of us. Everybody ended up laughing because I was sobbing in the film for Inside Out. I'm sure, as you could imagine, I was just crying and I just couldn't stop. I loved it. I think I had a very emotional reaction to it. I did not have that at any point with this movie, and I was expecting to. I will say, and I know a lot of people have said this, but let me be the millionth and first. There is a scene with a panic attack. It is incredibly well done. As somebody who has severe generalized anxiety disorder, I was like, this is a very real look at what the inside of my brain looks like when this stuff happens. The animation did also stress me out though. So if that, like,
I could see that actually.
The sound of it, the visuals of it, I was like, oh, this is very realistic, but also
too realistic.
Like I could actually, like, I had to.
And if they hadn't, it would have been a problem.
Yes.
I think.
I had to manually like slow my breath. I had to be like, okay, let's breathe. Like it's fine. Everything's good. It was good. I think for Pixar sequels,
That's where I was
I
going to
think
go
it's one of
next.
the best.
Okay, so in the realm of Pixar sequels, and let us know at home, where do you think this ranks, and what is your favorite Pixar sequel? Period. Like, I think it's really hard to beat Toy Story 3, which is actually a sequel of a sequel.
I think Toy Story. So I think
2 and 3 are really good. Like, to me, they're at the top of the sequels.
I grew up watching Toy Story 2 more than Toy Story 3.
Okay.
I watched Toy Story 2 a lot growing up. It's
So
why
is that at the top of your list?
I think that Toy Story 2,
Okay,
very closely followed by Toy Story 3.
Okay.
Because I think that was the perfect. I think Toy Story is a perfect trilogy. Crazy that they never made any more. I think that
I am looking forward to that 5th one, though.
that's crazy that they just skipped.
I don't know.
Anyway, sorry. If
ahead.
you enjoyed the
Anyway.
movie, I think that 2 and 3 are perfect. I think that also rounding out that top 5. I know I'm about to name 2 movies. I know that's 4. Okay, I don't do math. Rounding out up in my top 5,
Mhm.
Incredibles 2 and Inside Out 2.
Okay.
And that ranking could change on any given day.
All right. Well, you think about that. You think about it at home also. And I'm going to play you all an Indy cam. And this just shows how scared Indy is of the pool. But he loves to fetch. Enjoy. So once he knows it's good, he'll go after it. But he definitely has some concerns of going around it, or if the ball will go in it, he's going to jump back, and it's very funny.
That video does show off one of my favorite Indiana things, which is when he runs, but he's not fully running. He's doing his little prance, but like he acts like his legs are so tiny the way he runs. He's like, do, 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 do. I'm just a dainty little dog. When he's fully running, he can fully run.
He's a fast
I
runner.
like his little trot.
Yes.
Cute.
All right. In the last week, we learned more about Downtown Disney and the transformation that continues to happen. And we learned about some new shops, some new eateries, and perhaps most importantly, more about the permanent home of the Earl of Sandwich. Because it will have now been in, well, the hard part is it was in the same place twice.
That counts as 2.
So that counts as 2.
West, and then west again.
Okay.
And
now
then
the
east
one on
side.
this end, and then the one on the other end now.
And the food truck. So it's actually number 5.
So this will be 5.
Yeah.
So if Johnny were to come back for like the 15th anniversary, you could ask, and why are you Johnny 5 tonight? And he could be like, because the Earl of Sandwich has had 5 locations.
Just in downtown Disney.
Just in downtown Disney. Yeah, way more everywhere else.
Yeah.
But it's going to have a tavern upstairs that looks vaguely pubish.
Yeah.
That I'm all excited about. I think that looks really cool. It's going to have the quick service like we known. I think it looks great. Like I think other than the original location, this is the best I've seen for it.
Yeah.
In any of the Disney parks.
I also think this is a better location than the first location.
Really?
I know the first location was great.
I
They
like
had the
the-
outdoor patio that you could sit.
I just
and
like how
listen
the
to
sign looks
music.
at the first location. Like the colors in the sign looked really good in the first location.
I went on a first date at the Earl of Sandwich, and that relationship was a disaster. Therefore, I associate that location
Okay,
with
you're
that
allowed
first
to
date.
not like it. We also learned there's going to be an Avengers store,
Yeah,
a D-Lander.
we don't. It was D-Land.
Yeah, D-Lander.
D-Lander.
Yeah,
Yeah.
D-Lander store.
We don't know where these are going.
We also do know where this one is, the Wonderful World of Sweets. Did I get that right?
Where could it be?
In fact, walls went up yesterday overnight for the former home of Marceline's, and
Well, it's kind of sad that we're losing the name Marceline's, but
it is. It's a step away, but we're getting a Walt Disney
I know
animatronic,
I
so maybe that balances
know,
out.
But
I don't know. And we're getting a new steakhouse and barbecue, which interestingly enough, they're knocking down the old building
Yeah.
for Tortilla Joe's for, which I think will be very intriguing.
If
that also says to me it's way it's quite a ways out.
if I'm being completely honest,
Mhm.
and I'm just a guy. Okay, I'm just a guy saying my opinions on the internet.
Go for it.
I would knock down a lot of buildings in downtown Disney and start fresh.
Or at least reface the front of them, like majorly.
I would knock down a lot of buildings in downtown Disney and start fresh.
Okay, you
they
do
were
that.
they were built in 98, 99. Before ADA compliance, before
Okay, I'll give you that.
like there's a lot to
It'll
consider.
it'll be interesting to see what stays and what goes, and
Should I stay or
all
should
of
I go
that.
now?
Exactly. We also learned about the holidays at the Disneyland Resort, which are just a couple of months away, starting on November 15th. And we will have the return of some things. We'll have different versions of other things. One of the things that stood out to me is there's fewer days of Viva Navidad, but on the off days, we're getting another type of street show, it sounds like, with either the character of some Encanto or Coco, which I think is intriguing. I don't have any expectations on this, but I think it's interesting. We've got what is it? World of Color Seasonal Light returning. We've got Believe in Holiday Magic returning. We've got Christmas Fantasy Parade returning. Haunted Mansion Holiday is already here. Small World Holiday will be returning. Mickey's Happy Holidays, Disney Festival of Holidays. What else am I missing?
I can't think. The snow moment.
Oh yeah, the snow moment. Both in downtown Disney and at Disneyland, so you don't want to miss any of those. What is your favorite thing? Oh, and new character costumes.
Yeah.
Don't forget those.
Don't.
Very important.
Don't you dare.
I am very sad that I didn't get to do a bound last year because I was out of country with Mickey because his outfit was just like perfect. But for this year, since we have just a couple minutes left, what are you most looking forward to for this year at the holidays?
Mickey's Happy Holidays.
Okay.
Easy work. I will say though, again, I'm just sharing my opinion on the internet. That's what the show is about. I am so glad that it's not World of Color 1 getting a holiday tag. I'm really glad it is.
Oh, Seasonal Light's such a good show.
It is.
Like, I think it is maybe, I would actually argue it might be the best World of Color version.
World of Color Original. Original. I think World of Color Original is one of the best shows that Disney's ever put forward, from like music, from like everything about it. But like
I need to rewatch them side by side because I really like both of them.
Sure.
And it's been so long to think true original. I'm like, yeah, but, and I'm like, maybe I would agree with you. I don't.
I have a huge soft spot for World of Color Original. But I could have also seen the way that the last year has gone. I could have seen them doing World of Color 1, but putting a holiday tag on it.
Okay.
So I really love that we are getting the true holiday show.
Okay.
World of Color is.
Well, and to top all of it off, we're also getting a new attraction. So
True.
Tiana's Bayou Adventure does open on the first day of the holidays as well, which I think is going to be fun. But I'm just looking forward to taking pictures of all this stuff. Like last year, I really didn't. I think I had a handful of days between travel and everything going on in life. And so this year I'm looking forward to having more time throughout the holidays to get pictures, to get video. We'll get like the team did a great job last year of getting all the video, and this year I'll get to be a part of that more as well. So that will be fun. Welcome to Geeks Corner Plus. It is 9:00, which means we have officially finished the show for the night. But if you have any questions or comments you'd like us to address, let us know in the comments. I see Dave is asking what we thought of D23 at Disney. We thought it was big. We thought there was a lot.
It was
one
exciting.
thing, I was talking to a friend today in the park, and one of the things we were very thankful for about D23 this year is that with all of the new attractions that were announced during the Horizons panel, they weren't cookie cutters of things that already exist. Like they're new attractions with new, maybe one's on a boat, maybe one's a suspension coaster. Like there's a lot of different things that are new and exciting. And so I think that was a very fun one. Donald on Hot Ones was hilarious.
I have not watched it.
I did, and I was very amused by it. Like I think
I like that Mickey shows up with milk, though.
yes. Like I think there's definitely room to critique, but why? Because it's just fun.
It's just fun.
It's a fun. I like that they're putting them out there in random things more, and I would love to see Donald, Mickey, Goofy, Minnie, whoever thrown out into some more of these.
It also feels on
things.
brand. Like this is one of those things that they're doing, but it feels on brand for Donald Duck to do something like Hot Ones.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm doing a YouTube. Oh.
That's fun. That's
I'm doing a YouTube show here. Don't you know
sound effects.
Don't you know who
See,
I
we're
am?
upping the quality of Geeks Corner. We're giving you sound effects. All that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Hot Ones next week. Probably not.
Oh my God, our dinner was Hot Ones.
That would be funny, though. Wouldn't that be a funny?
For us to do Hot Ones?
I don't know. I don't know that it would go well.
I had Da Bomb hot sauce one time. I have a picture. An hour and a half later, the fact of my nose and up to my top lip, it's like this corner is just all red. And like I was crying. My nose ran terribly. And then I got a tummy ache.
Yeah,
and that's Da Bomb is like
so let's
number
not do
5
that.
from the top.
Yeah, let's not do that.
That's scary.
That's not fun.
No, not at all.
But we hope you've had fun watching this show. So, Katie, what should people do?
Just go to DouseMagic.com, check out all the Disney and Geek news as it happens, subscribe to our mailing list, and from there you can find our Patreon, which has lots of fun things that you don't want to miss, and you also get a shout out in the credits of this very show.
That is correct. And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're getting very close to 90,000 subscribers. Hard to believe. And then the next jump is to 100,000, and then we'll get to show that cool plaque. And that will be a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll get there soon. But anyway, subscribe if you haven't. Get your friends, family, random people you know. It'd be great. Anybody. We'll get there. But that is all the time we have for you this week on Geeks Corner. We will see you round the corner.
Bye.